Hi, it's Scott. ROCKFILE back with another podcast review. Let's talk about the 2025 film, Marty Supreme. Lots of award nominations, lots of award wins. The $60 to $70 million movie that went on to make $180 million and become A24's top movie of all time. Now, this is one of the best movies of last year. It's also one of the most frustrating movies of the last year. We'll talk about it. If you've ever seen a Josh Safdie or the Safdie brothers movies, you kind of know that these movies are kinetic. They're chaotic. They are about people who you may not always agree with or empathize with, but they make compelling stories. There's some true aspects to this story. It was nominated for 9 Academy Awards, 11 British Academy Awards. Timothée Chalamet won Best Actor at Golden Globes and Critics' Choice. Movie is pretty well respected. And then it made that much money for an A24. A ping pong movie that takes place in the 50s. That was a hard sell to begin with. But thought the movie was great. I just not into the characters. Like 2.5 hours flew by. Some of the best sports footage you will ever see of ping pong or anything else. The table tennis stuff was amazing. Timothée Chalamet gives it all. You could tell he was actually playing a lot of it. The characters are all well acted. The thing is well written. The cinematography is incredible. All of it works and makes a great film that's fun to watch. It's got a great Dolby Atmos mix. There's an interesting choice for the guy who did the music as an electronic musician, and he used pieces based on mostly 80s stuff. There's some 50s stuff in here too, but a lot of 80s music, Tears for Fears and things like that fit the movie but don't fit the timeline, so it makes it kind of anachronistic, so to speak. My biggest complaint, and this is not a spoiler of any kind, but everybody, pardon my French, in the movie is an asshole. They're all trying to do their own schemes to get what they want, and in the end, during the extras I was watching after watching the movie, the director says it's about love and family ultimately, and I get that from the last scene of the movie, but 2.5 hours with people that you just want, you yell at the screen and go, can you just stop being a jerk for a while and see what you're doing to other people with what you're doing? And this is not just the main character. This is like everybody in the film was doing something wrong to somebody else. Maybe that was the whole point. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but you know, they recreated 50s New York. It looks and feels real. The ambiance in the surround sound was incredible. The carts on the side of the street, the people's clothes and everything. This was like a Scorsese movie in that respect, that it just looked authentic as hell, everything. But there were certain scenes here and there in the movie where I don't know that I needed to see the guy doing certain things or see him react certain ways or some other characters do certain things. I just was a little puzzled by certain things. Now, the whole thing plays out and tells a cohesive story. I'm not saying that there were things in here that should have been excised or whatever. I get where they were going and how it all ended and everything. But to put it in perspective, I rewatched Baby Driver over the weekend. My girlfriend had not seen this movie, and I love that movie. And there's some bad guys in that movie, but the two main characters are actually good guys, and they're trying to do right, even though they're stuck doing some really bad things. Matter of fact, our main character actually kills somebody in that movie, but you want him to survive. In Marty Supreme, you still want him to survive at the end, but you're not sure if you really want him to win or not, because he's kind of a jerk about it. But again, if you've watched Uncut Gems or some of the other A Good Time, some of the previous Josh Safdie movies, these are what he has in common with these characters. You really don't know. But like I said, in the end, the movie is worth watching. It tells a great story. There's some aspects to the table tennis player that came from a real character. There's some aspects of his opponent, the Japanese player. There's also based on reality. Some of the stuff that happened was based on reality, but this is not supposed to be any kind of documentary type film or biopic or anything like that. It is definitely playing with time, playing with conventions, playing with what you expect in a movie like this. Like I said, the sports are great, the editing is great, the cinematography is great, the acting is great. Everybody does a fantastic job in the movie, and I think they did what the director wanted to do, but this is the problem I have. Like Uncut Gems, I thought was a great movie, but I don't own it, and I don't really enjoy it. Like I thought Adam Sandler was great in it. I thought it was well directed, and the feeling of chaos and any minute he was going to die, imbued that film with some real gusto, if you want to say it. And Good Time, I watched that movie a few years ago, enjoyed it for what it was, but again, I I really kind of have to like the characters, I guess, to get back into it. And that's not always the case. I mean, I watch a lot of horror movies where despicable things are done by people, and I go back and watch those again. But I don't know, there was just something about this movie that these people should not be winning. But that's kind of life, too, that sometimes the wrong person wins something, maybe because they were just in the right place at the right time. It's funny how drastically wrong some of his schemes go, and he still comes out on top. That is one of the more entertaining aspects of the character. And like I said, the whole movie was entertaining, but everybody in the movie, you know, there's an extra where the director talks about, we wanted to hire the guy from Shark Tank because we needed an asshole. We figured he could do that. And it's like, yeah, pretty much everybody in the movie pretty much does that. But I think Timothée Chalamet was great. I thought the whole movie was a lot of fun to watch, but will I watch it a second time? Probably more for the movie making than the actual movie itself. It's made incredibly. There's some editing things that are done that are just one of a kind. It sticks out like a sore thumb. It was amazingly well done. I went, wow, he should win an editing award for that kind of thing. But all in all, when the movie was over, I'm like, these characters, you know, they'll sit in the back of my mind for a while, but I'll move on to something else. So Marty Supreme looks fantastic in the A24 4K. I believe it was digitally captured. It does have a little bit of film grain, which gives it that authentic feel of the time. I thought it looked fantastic, colors and all that, contrast, that kind of thing. And the Dolby Atmos is really, really good. Not among the best I've heard lately, but it did create convincing areas of action, whether it be in a ping pong tournament or out on city streets, things like that. The surround was great. They do some things with music and some vocals and some overhead announcements and things like that. So the Atmos, it does get worked out. All in all, I thought it was a great presentation on 4K, both audio and video. And I liked the movie. I wound up on Letterboxd giving it about a 4 out of 5. Probably closer to a 3.5 out of 5, because I think the movie was a 5 out of 5, but the characters were about a 3. So I'm just kind of splitting the difference. Let me know what you thought about the movie, Marty Supreme. It's available now streaming and on home video. It came out at Christmas time. It's become A24's biggest moneymaker. Thankfully, they're not one to do sequels on things like that, but Marty Supreme, I guess a halfway recommendation if it sounds like your cup of tea. And if you're into sports movies, it's a really good one. It's just the characters are not exactly the people you'd hang out with after the movie is over. Scott, I'm ROCKFILE. More podcasts are on the way. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have a spectacular day.